Yes, what's up? How you doing from wherever you're catching me from? Still Luze, Andrew Anderson. We're here on DCM Uganda. And this time around, I decided to come here. We talk about something called time. Time. That is the biggest asset anyone can always have anytime. Most of our times we think of, people think of getting capital, to start up businesses. People think of, getting help, getting knowledge from people. And we forget one thing that most of the people don't really think about carefully, and that is time. The biggest asset someone could ever have in life, I think that is time. If you woke up early in the morning and they told you you have 1 year to live, to be alive, you have 1 year to live, to still be alive, just 1 year. Those are 12 months, 360 something days to live. When you get to that point, then you will notice that some things might end up being not important just as you thought. You might feel like education is the best thing, and because you have less time, you will notice that education is not that important. When they tell you like you have less time, you might think that getting knowledge, acquiring knowledge is not again that important. You notice that if case they tell you you have less time, you will notice that relationship with people are more important, than any other thing. Yeah, people spend a lot of time trying to create wealth, trying to make money, for their kids, maybe for their well-being. But when they tell you you have little time, it really helps you to now weigh things, to see what's really important and what's really not. But we tend to forget that. We think that maybe we have infinity time. We feel like we are immortal. And then things that are not supposed to be important, we make them very important. Because if they told you that, you've noticed most of the people when they are going to die, when they are on their deathbeds, yeah? Most of the times when they know they have less time, that is the time they are like, I want to see my kids. I want to go to the village to see my mom. I want you guys to call for me this friend of mine. You see, like now the important things coming. Why is it you've never met someone who is going to die and maybe they've gotten trophies and then they're like, bring me my trophies, bring me my land titles, bring me. They don't want none of that. Now that is not important at all, because time, those were useless things. But most of the people tend to make these other things very important. They're like, I'm so ambitious, I have to do this, I have to do this. And yet those things are not important. If you just tell them you have less time, just put it in your mind, maybe think about it for a minute. Be like, maybe what if I have 3 years? What is it that I'll do differently? What is it that you'll do differently? I'm telling you truthfully, you'll be surprised that the things that you think are important, really they are not important. Because on your deathbed, you cannot start saying, bring my land titles, yeah? You cannot start saying, I bought jewelry, bring my best clothes, bring my car here. I want to die looking at my car. It's now all less important. It's not important at all. It's not important. And now that's when you notice that relationships, yeah? Have you ever seen someone going to die and then they're like, bring my Lamborghini, bring my Pajero, bring my handbag, bring my jewelry. It's no longer important because you have less time. And that is the biggest asset we've got in life as we're still living. The day you wake up early in the morning and they tell you you have less time, that's when the important things start to chip in. Me, most of my times, I always think about that. And I'm like, I have less time. That's why I decided to be a single dad. I was like, I don't want at any point to live this life. And I didn't have enough time with my son. Since he was one, I've been with him. Since he was one, now he's making 4 in 2026. But I'm like, even if I die today, if God decided to take me now, I'll be like, at least I did the important things. I felt like, what is that important thing, I could do for my son so that he's safe? You see? So now the things I would chase over, I'm like, no, those are less important. Let me create memories with my son. If he grows up, trust me, he'll remember every little bit of it. When I took him, at school, when was it? Was it yesterday, the 10th of February 2026? I can never forget that. Yeah. I can never forget the first day at school, the first time he bathed himself, the first time he brushed teeth himself, the first time, all those things he's done as I'm there. Because I put this thing in my mind and I'm like, what if I have little time here? Some of us, we believe so much in God and we're like, I send that away in Jesus' name. How will you go to Jesus if you don't die? Everyone has that time when you're living, because you are born not on plan. Yeah, you are not born not on plan. You are not in plan to be born. The only control you have is now that you can watch this video, and you don't have the other control on when you're going to be leaving this earth. So most of the people, I wonder, take each day, create good relationships. If you're having your sisters, your brothers, your relatives, your parents, have that time. Let it be like you've just seen them for the first time, because you don't know how long you're having here, man. Most of the things we take as important. Me, I like such kind of views, yeah. But this is all in vanity, It will all go away. So it is really very, very bad, to live a kind of life like, you're always chasing something. You're not having time for your family. You're not having time for your relatives, all in the name of, you're trying to do something, with your life. You just imagine for a minute, like, what if you have a year to live? What is it you will do differently? You'll be surprised what we'll do differently. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. Me, I'm always having that in my mind. I'm always having it. I'm like, what if? So I'm like, this time I'm going to make sure I have the best with my son. That's why I don't want inconveniences, another foreign person to come through. No, this is time, me and my son. You will do things differently. You'd think of, you'd want to go, let me say, abroad, and then when you think about that, you'll be like, okay, yes, I'll go abroad. So what next? I'm chasing, but, staying here and doing this and doing that, this would be more important. Think about it. Just think about it. Give it a second. Think about it. Most of the things we chase over, they're not that important, and we make them important. So just imagine you're having, a few years to live. What is it that you'll do different? You'll be surprised. It's like when you're having a budget, you're having, let me say, $1 million, and then you weigh what is more important. Before you know it, there are those extras that really don't mind. But again, because you thought you had enough money, you thought you would buy everything, but there are those which are not that important. I still remain Losey Andrew Anderson. Think about that very carefully. If you love the message that I told you, you can go ahead and subscribe. Be among the first people, hit the notification button that each time I put up a video or I come live, you're among the first people to be watching. Bless.